By the way, if you guys ever want like entertainment from like how stupid these people are, just go into any of my comments. See, I don't even know why this person even asked this question. Alright, because it's a completely useless and utterly pointless question. Don't you have something better to do? Me. No. Hating Asmongold is my whole life. Hating Asmongold is my whole life.
Is defending its decision to send hundreds of alleged gang members to a super prison down in El Salvador.
And President Trump is thanking the country for taking all of those illegal migrants in.
Good job, El Salvador, one of the great stories in Central and South America.
Location is legal, and he ordered deportation flights to turn around. But the White House says the planes were already outside of U.S. airspace, so they argue the judge's ruling no longer applied. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the administration did not refuse to comply with the court order.
Absolute cinema, okay? Like, he just says, oh, that's not how it works. I think he just broke the law. Okay, I guess we're moving on now.
City cannot direct the movements of an aircraft carrier full of alien terrorists
Classic.
who were physically expelled from
I can't believe he released a video about this. That was fucking hilarious.
Trump decided they can come here, and you see in the video their heads.
It's so based and epic. Look at these prisoners about to get raped in a prison. Oh my god, these people who are didn't go through a judge decision.
They're being transported one by one. They're getting their heads shaved. They're walking with their hands behind their necks, and this is all at a detention center, the El Salvador Terrorism Confinement Center.
Is due process not a question for you? Well, this is the due process. It was already explained that if you're using this act and these people are non-citizens, then this is the due process. That's the whole point. Due process is applying the rules.
Proclamation. All right, what is the Alien Enemies Act? With the prepared will be a war with France. Congress passed a series of laws that increase the federal government's reach. Worried that immigrants could sympathize with the French, the Alien Enemies Act was created to give the president wide powers to imprison and deport non-citizens in time of war. Since then, the act has been used just 3 times. During the War of 1812, World War I, and World War II. Well, this isn't due process because we're not in a time of war. A time of war is declared when Congress, when Congress votes to declare war, right? And normally due process is referred to being before a judge, all right? Like typically that's how the word is used. That's how the statement is used. See, this is why I dislike ChatGPT. It tries to give you a nuanced answer. I don't care about nuanced answers, okay? I want to give me a straightforward answer. Grok, bring me the soup. It's not due process. It's literally not due process. Okay. Here, did Trump follow due process for his deportations? Whether Donald Trump followed due process. Okay, how is due process defined, right? In the immigration context, this typically means notice and an opportunity to be heard. Though the extent of these protections can vary based on circumstances, such as an individual's legal status or the type of deportation process used. So, in this context, notice, you were told beforehand, and an opportunity to be heard. This is due process. This is not due process. They were not given notice, and they did not have an opportunity to be heard.
Amazed with the Democratic
Never saw a
Party.
courthouse? Yeah, that's because the due process of the Illegal Alien Act, or whatever the fuck it's called, says that they don't have to. If you invoke that...
No! Due process specifically means notice and opportunity to be heard. Which one of these are we applying here? Which due process we're applying here, you moron, you fucking drooling retard, Asmongold?
So you shouldn't be making that argument. You should be making the argument that he couldn't invoke the act. That's a different argument. But to say that these people didn't get due process is not true.
And he shouldn't invoke the act either. It's also, and he shouldn't invoke the act either. Because if you try to find any way around due process, it sets a precedent where people can just simply be deported without, well, due process. And eventually, it'll be your turn to be deported without representation.
This is the due process.
No, it's not, moron. Wait, hold on. Isn't Asmongold the same fucking guy who says like, oh, this is a slippery slope. Oh, this could happen to you one day. Oh, this is like, this can be Uno reversed until it's your turn. Like, isn't he the same guy that argues these kinds of things? So in this specific circumstance, he is no longer arguing it. See, this is what these people do. These people are hypocritical, evil bastards, all right? Like, this guy, Asmongold, he only exists to spread murder and mayhem, chaos and mayhem, okay? He does not argue in good faith whatsoever. When he preaches about good principles, he's only talking about it because he wants to apply it to himself. He's a piece of shit, and he's bad faith. He pretends to be more moronic when it is suitable for that moment in his stream, but he automatically gets all smarty pants about it when it's suitable as well. This guy is feckless. Okay, he's a feckless creature. All right, he's a total laundry dry bag. All right, he's a fucking muppet, is what he is.
And once you view all of this thinking around it being fundamentally narcissistic, that these people don't actually care about anything, all they care about is doing the thing that makes them feel good, everything else immediately makes perfect sense. And I would challenge anybody who disagrees with this to really think about it. Most of these people, their entire worldview is based off of making themselves feel good. That's the focus.
I can't tell if he's like projecting here or something, because that literally applies to him, right? When you are literally deporting these people because it makes you feel good. You're not actually processing due process. You're not applying due process to these people. And not only that, right? Like, these are things that actually affects people's homes. These are things that literally affect these people. These people being deported affects families that have been living here for years. They're not actually, I don't think they're actually, like, give me one example of one of, like some of them doing, like, a fucking home invasion. I think if they get deported, and all of them better be doing fucking home invasions is what's happening, okay? Because I promise you, when you're getting deported without due process, that is only for the feelies, okay? Like, these people are wimps. They refuse to deal with reality. This is what happened. It's a judge who says, turn the planes back because we need to actually go through due process. Turn the planes back because we need to go through the law. But you know how it is. These Republicans, these people don't actually care about the law, okay? If they actually cared about the law, they would have stopped being MAGA supporters a long, long time ago, all right? Because trust me, these Republicans are the least law-abiding people ever, okay? Ever. And there's literally no excuse for this. No excuse. Because if they actually followed the law, they would know that they shouldn't have voted a fucking felon into the presidency. That's number one. Number two, all right, they would have known that they should have went through due process, aka the law, all right? And number three, there's so many reasons here, right? Trump just breaks the law all the time. He made Doge even though you need a Congress fucking to vote a new department in, technically. So it's, technically it's not a real department or whatever, right? So it's like, all of these things are not following the law, not following due process, not following anything the judicial branch says, outwardly disobeying judicial branch shit, okay? These are not lawful actions, okay? These are very much anti-law. These people are not the party of law and order. This is the party of outlaws and chaos, okay? Of outlaws and chaos. This is what the party is. Because these people are completely delusional, spineless, absolute warmongering, fear-mongering fucks, all right? They don't even believe in free speech as well. They don't believe in any of that shit. These people are actually retarded.
Activists can warrant? Yeah, I guess so. Turn the plane around is wild? Yeah, I guess so. And if they use this act in its purpose, since it's not a nation or a government invading, why should we believe it won't be used in other incorrect ways? Well, so the idea is that they believe Venezuela let these people come over voluntarily, and based off of that implication, they invoke the act. Now, what is the reasoning they have for that? As far as I know, that reasoning is not public. So we don't know what the answer to that is.
Okay, right. So here comes the brave Republicans going, oh, they're guilty until they're presumed innocent. This is literally what Asmongold says, okay? You're guilty until you're presumed innocent. All right. Yes, this is not literally what he said, but it just practically means the same thing. Yeah, sure. They gave some kind of indication. They gave the reasoning why they were, arrested and then deported. Right. However, where is the actual evidence? Where's the part where you're supposed to prove that they're actually guilty? Where is it? It's not there. I'm using Crypto's map room, okay, from Apex Legends Kings Canyon, okay, season 5, season 6, okay. I'm trying to look for it, all right. It's not there. It go wing. All right, I don't see it, okay. Damn, you know, these are the despicable. These are the despicable, horrible people that we're dealing with here, okay? These are horrible, deplorable. It's a basket of deplorables. It's a basket of deplorables. Asmongold and his fans are a basket of deplorables. It's just what it is, all right? There are so many ways, I just love how whenever they disobey a court order or they disobey something that they expect a Democrat to do, they suddenly lose their minds over it. But then the moment it's applied back to them, it's like, oh, you know, oh, wow, but you know, you didn't no public evidence? No public evidence? You mean like how every single court case loves to put out actual public evidence? You mean how every single conviction typically has like public evidence out there for us? How every single mass murder and every single like whatever has like public evidence for us to actually double check and see that they are actually guilty? You mean that kind of public evidence? Oh no, we don't have it. Oh no, for these they're brown. Okay, they're like lower. They're like lower on the skin tone scale. All right, they're of a darker variety. You see, okay, like if you go below light roasted, you're automatically assumed to be guilty until you're innocent. You're not innocent until you're presumed guilty. You're guilty until you're innocent, all right?
Do I believe that Venezuela and these countries are sending these people over? I'm open to the idea of it. I don't necessarily believe it, but if somebody provided me proof, I would probably believe it. And I usually think about, like, this might sound bad, but like, what would I do in this situation? Well, if Venezuela has a bunch of these problem boys and they're causing trouble, wouldn't you want to just send them somewhere else? Yeah. So I think about it from their perspective. Yeah, for sure they would do that. Problem is, yeah, well, that's what they are. So it's plausible for sure. And I think that ruling that out is naive. Isn't that a stretch? Why would these companies take responsibility for the actions of their free people? Well, it's not about them taking responsibility. It's about them allowing something to happen that gives them responsibility. So it's slightly different.
Wait, you decided.
There it is, guys. Okay, he doesn't even believe what the fuck he's talking about. He doesn't believe this shit. He doesn't. He's a grifter. Asmongold is a grifter. All right? He doesn't believe this shit. He doesn't actually believe it. He doesn't believe these countries are sending these. There's no evidence yet. How can action be taken before evidence is presented? Isn't that such a ridiculous standard in any other case? How could action be taken before evidence is presented? In a court of law? Excuse me? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is actually insane. What are we mad at? The deportations. All right. What else is there to be mad at, Quibbles? Hi.
This. They're already out of U.S. airspace. They're flying.
Who is our enemy? Asmongold. Okay. Asmongold is our eternal enemy. Asmongold is the root of all evil. Okay. He is the bane of existence. He is Hitler. All right. He is literally internet Hitler. Okay. He is the bane. He's as if Satan took a massive dump and then named it Asmongold. Okay. That's Goldilocks for you, all right? That's Asmongold.
Down to El Salvador.
Okay, Asmongold is a guy that values good faith, right? He values good faith. Here's the deal, all right? It's funny how this guy who always talks about being good faith and, you know, trying to make arguments in good faith automatically applies the worst faith possible when it comes to Democrats. Are Democrats actually supporting terrorists? Is that actually happening? Do you see Nancy Pelosi tweeting on Twitter about like, hey, you know, it's actually good to start bombing Tesla cars? Do you see Chuck Schumer tweeting on Twitter about how you know, Venezuelan gangs should be allowed in the United States? No, we don't see that because the reason why is because we value due process. There's a difference between valuing a part of a democratic process and versus the people who are actually caught up in it. It doesn't matter if they're bad or they're good. It doesn't matter if they're innocent or they're guilty. Everybody has a right to go through the due process, okay? Even if you're not a citizen, even if you're a green card holder or a visa holder or anybody who's got their visa expired, you have the right, not the privilege, the right to go through due process, okay? This is what the Democrats want. They want due process, okay? They don't want terrorism. They don't want Venezuelan gangs. Of course not. Of course not. All right? They want due process to be respected. They want the principle of everybody being applied the equal amount of justice to be respected. These people are not being applied the equal amount of justice, all right? Versus some Caucasian suburban white people, all right, in the suburbs. No, these people go through due process at the very least. These people do not. This is not equal. It's not equal whatsoever. It doesn't matter if these guys are heinous rapists, murderers, child rapists. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they raid the home and kill a woman and kill and rape a woman. It does not matter. They need to go through due process. If Dahmer went through due process, these people can go through due process. If Nazis went through the Nuremberg trials in front of judges, then these people also deserve to go through due process. If Bosnians can be held on trial for having an entire genocide, these people also deserve to go through due process. You cannot tell me that these people are worse than Nazis, or worse than the people who are in Nuremberg trial, or worse than the people who are behind the Bosnian genocide. You cannot tell me that. It's not a thing.